Welcome. USM Campus Safety Project is a university-wide effort to promote healthy relationships and to prevent and better respond to interpersonal violence in our campus community. As part of this training today, you'll see some vignettes that were written and performed by USM students as part of Unspoken Maine. You'll also be introduced to some advocates from our local advocacy agencies and to our Title IX coordinator. I hope you enjoy the presentation, and for more information and for resources, please visit our website at www.usm.maine.edu/Campus Safety Project.
Hi, I'm Charlotte, and there's this girl, Maggie. She's pretty awesome. I've known her for a few months, and I'm thinking about going out on a limb here. I'm going to ask her out. No, seriously, I am this time. I have this nice restaurant all picked out, and oh, here she comes.
Hey, Charlotte.
Hi.
What's up?
Oh, well, I was wondering if maybe, if you wanted to, if you're not busy, if you wanted to catch a flick or something with me, both of us, together, at the same time.
A flick?
A movie? A film? A movie or something.
Now?
Oh, no, Saturday night. And I was also thinking, maybe, if you wanted, we could get a bite to eat or something?
Sure, that sounds good.
I'll text you the deets. We went to Pirates of the Caribbean 13, Attack of the Whale Shark, followed by a lovely dinner at the Pasta Sub Sushi Hut. That is when I decided to pop the question.
That was a strange movie. Maybe next time I can choose.
Next time?
Well, yeah, sure. I had a lot of fun. I'd love to do it again sometime.
Would you want to be my girlfriend?
What?
Would you be my girlfriend?
I mean this nicely, but we've only been on one date. Let's wait a few more dates. I'll call you tonight.
Although I didn't want to admit it, she was right. I didn't really know her. We went on a couple more dates, and every time I saw her, I liked her even more. Then one night we went for a walk.
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, I'll be your girlfriend.
What if I changed my mind?
Did you change your mind?
No.
So will you be my girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Hard to Get. But if we're going to make this work, we need to set some ground rules. Rule number 1. We need to tell each other when there's something wrong between us. None of this, oh, it's nothing crap.
Okay, that's easy enough.
Whoa, slow your roll there, Bob. I'm not finished. Rule number 2. I want to make this work, but we need to be happy together. No sacrificing our own happiness for the other person. Yes?
I agree. I may not have said it out loud at this moment, but I like this all your cards on the table approach. Carry on.
Rule number 3. No movies with Sarah Jessica Parker in them.
What? She's awesome.
Or Kristen Stewart.
Really?
Don't make me regret this.
I want to add one.
To the actor list or the rule list?
The rule list.
Absolutely.
Rule number 4, monogamy. I have nothing against open relationships, but they're not for me.
I thought that one was a given. Yes, good rule. Anything else?
Nope.
Commence social media status updates.
Things started to get more intimate. Every time I saw Maggie, I had these big metal butterflies fluttering around in my stomach. Then one night, we went to the drive-in.
I've never been to a drive-in before. I didn't even know there was one around here.
Neither did I. My friend told me about it, and I thought it'd be fun. Plus, I hear they have great corn dogs.
Ooh, I will bet you $10 Ryan Gosling kisses at least 2 women in this movie.
You're on. I really like your hair like that.
Thanks. I like your necklace.
You've really pretty eyes.
Thanks. I like your freckles.
Thanks. You're really close to my face.
You're really close to my face.
Can I
kiss you?
Okay, you don't need to see this part. She said yes, I said yes, we kissed. It was great. I felt electrified. Maggie said she saw fireworks. Things progressed, and we just kept checking in with each other to make sure in the heat of the moment we were on the same page. You know, it is sort of sexy to ask someone what she wants or come up with creative suggestions. Anyway, we're still dating today, and it's because of our good communication and our ground rules that we're able to keep a healthy relationship for 2.5 years. Oh, especially Rule 3. Rule 3 is very important. Sometimes we disagree about things, but by being honest and aware of the other person's feelings, we were able to build a stronger relationship. I'm planning on taking her to the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
No.
You're supposed to be frozen. You're not supposed to be able to hear these parts.
Well, I can.
It's supposed to be the best one yet.
Can we please pick a movie together?
Okay. What about the new Twilight movie? I hear that Kristen Stewart gets staked by a new breed of werewolf zombie that glows in the dark within the first few minutes. So it may be an exception to the rule.
Maybe. Maybe.
I used to love him. Quite a lot, actually. We used to do our homework together, and he didn't feel intimidated by me. He taught me things. I never had that before. His mother adored me. She still does. His family thought that I was good for him. Solid, not prone to fits of emotion. Much different than him. Junior year, we moved out of our parents' houses and into a little cottage close to campus. We had a cat who was an obnoxious little brat and would not let us sleep unless she was curled up on the bed. He never complained about that. After a few months, we were comfortable living together. We had our routines and everything was just peachy. Then it was less so. He didn't like me to wear makeup out of the house. Was I looking to attract other men? Why did I feel the need to get dolled up for anyone other than him? I told him that the only people women wanted to impress were other women and gay men. He didn't find that particularly amusing. I thought it was funny. And that was the problem. He would get so serious so quickly that I couldn't keep up. One minute we'd be laughing, and then I would say something that irritated him, and he would find fault with me for the rest of the day. I learned to always be 2 steps ahead in every situation, so that I could censor anything that might aggravate him. I've always hated conflict, so I did everything in my power to avoid upsetting him. Sometimes it was difficult to keep every situation perfect, especially when there were other people involved. He was habitually late for every event, no matter how important or how many times I reminded him. My family knew this, and they were supportive to a fault. But I just wish that even though I wouldn't have listened at the time, they'd expressed their dislike of him earlier. On one occasion, it was my brother's graduation, and it was important that we be there on time. As usual, we showed up 15 minutes late, only to find out that to compensate for his perpetual tardiness, we had been told to arrive half hour before we needed to. I would have rather just been late. He was livid that my family had just assumed that we would be late, and the tension between them was palpable. I'd still be with him, I think, if it weren't for my friend Doreen. We had been friends since high school, and it was not in her nature to keep quiet if she didn't like one of my boyfriends. She was fond of him at first, but then, after relaying the less admirable aspects of his behavior, her opinion of him worsened. Where my family had been silent, Doreen explained to me what she was seeing and how concerned she was. When I finally managed to end it, it was because of Doreen. My little sister was getting married, and I had been up since 6 in the morning getting ready for the wedding. An hour before we had to leave, he was still not out of bed, and for some unknown reason, he decided that he didn't want to go at all. Well, I didn't have time to coax him into coming, so I told him that I would go alone. He told me that he had hidden the car keys, and that if I wanted to go, I would have to walk. Till that moment, I hadn't realized how childish he could be. What kind of grown man does that? Doreen came and took me to the wedding, and refused to take me back home after. I moved out of the cottage the next day and stayed with Doreen. That should have been the end of it, but he kept calling me, insisting that Doreen made me think that he was bad for me. He told me that no one else would ever love me. On a few occasions, he even showed up at my job with pictures of things that I had left at the cottage. And he told me that he wasn't going to give them back to me unless I agreed to come pick them up myself. I was anxious going into work every day. Eventually, my boss told him that he wasn't allowed to come to my job anymore. But that didn't stop him from calling and leaving angry voicemails when I didn't answer. Finally, I told him that if he didn't stop calling me, I would tell the police and let them handle it. He left me alone after that. But Doreen helped me change my phone number just to be safe. Where my family had been too polite to speak their minds, Doreen forced me to pay attention to what I thought I was too smart to let happen. I'd always been the clever one in my family, always so confident and self-assured. But when he gained control of me, I had no defense because it had never happened before. The difficult part wasn't leaving him. Once I decided to do something, I don't change my mind. The difficult part was acknowledging that for all my education, I still fell into a situation I thought I knew how to avoid. He seemed so charming and normal that the people who knew him wouldn't believe that he could be so emotionally harmful. He manipulated every situation so perfectly that it took me years to realize that there was something wrong with him and not me, something to notice that every situation, every feeling of guilt for every slightest misstep was his doing. I was not prepared for how easily he could manipulate our relationship to his advantage. I'm still not. I shouldn't have to be.
I want to make it really clear that everyone who experiences abuse in relationship has their own unique experience. But we know that there are common themes. Power and control is really at the heart of the dynamics of an abusive relationship. And we saw a lot of this stuff going on. We saw isolation and permission giving. We saw a tremendous amount of emotional and psychological abuse to the point where she felt she needed to edit every single movement and thing that she said in order to please him, in order to make sure she wasn't setting him off. The most important part of being a friend to someone who's experiencing abuse in their relationship is being for them, listening to them and believing what they tell you. It's important to connect them to resources in our community, whether here on campus, whether outside of our campus. Get them the help that they need. Maybe you're not the expert on this. Who is? So when you find out someone in your life is experiencing abuse in their relationship, step up, speak out, do something, however small. If each and every one of us does the same, we will be living in a community where we are all free to be who we want, to be who we are, and to exist in healthy and happy relationships.
You know how there are some words that don't fit in with the rest of your vocabulary?
What do you mean?
Like, okay, you know how English slang is different than ours?
Yeah.
Like how instead of TV they say telly, or pram instead of stroller, or bollocks instead of...
What's your point?
Well, if you try to slip one of those into casual conversation, it just becomes awkward for you and everyone involved.
Like the time you asked me how Jen could have fit all this?
Yeah, like that.
Sure, I get that. Why?
Well, it just occurred to me last night.
Before or after you went home with that guy?
Somewhere in between, I guess.
Whatever.
Was Matt there?
Where?
At the party last night?
You don't remember?
I had a lot to drink.
Yeah, I know, I was there. Well, sure he was. He asked about you.
What did you say?
Oh, that you were still reeling from the breakup and that you longed for him to take you into his arms. I'm kidding. I told him to piss off. You used a condom, right?
What?
You. Him. The guy you went home with? Prophylactics? Yes? No? Did you?
What?
Did you guys use a condom?
I don't think that's any of your business.
Jackie, I'm your friend.
Well, you didn't act like it last night.
What? Hey, Matt.
Danielle, what's going on with Jackie?
Hell if I know. She won't talk to me.
Yeah, well, if you were supposed to be my friend, I guess I wouldn't talk to you either.
Excuse me?
You brought her to that party last night right after practice. She was dehydrated. And I'm guessing you hadn't gone to dinner yet?
So?
You gave her shots of Bacardi.
It was a party.
Yeah, puking for half the night is not my idea of a good time, and I'm pretty sure that Jackie would agree.
Okay, I was just trying to help her get over her horror show of a breakup with you, and she met a nice guy, didn't she?
Nice? He was feeding her drinks, too. Please tell me she didn't go home with that guy.
That's none of your business. You're not her boyfriend anymore.
That has nothing to do with it. You let her go home with someone when you knew she was trashed?
Whoa, how is this suddenly my fault?
Jackie could have been raped.
Raped? Who said anything about rape? Don't say that.
If Jackie was wasted and she and that guy had sex, it was rape.
Don't try to turn this into the White Knight scenario where you swoop in and save the princess, Matt.
You know, Danielle, I really hope that no one is ever the kind of friend to you that you are to Jackie.
Who is it?
It's me.
What do you want?
I want to talk about what happened.
Why?
I ran into Matt.
What do I care?
Look, he really cares about you, and he got all up in my face about how shitty I was to you. I guess I didn't realize how drunk you were the other night.
I don't want to.
What?
Do you remember how I asked you about words that don't fit well into conversation?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to say that you don't want to sleep with somebody when you're already half naked and in their bed?
Jack. I don't know, you just say no, I guess.
But how? I must have wanted to at some point, or I wouldn't have gone with him.
Do you remember how you got there?
No.
Jackie, it's totally fine to not sleep with someone if you're not into it.
I know I must have acted like I was easy or something.
Jackie.
No, I did. I could have stopped drinking whenever, but I was just moping about Matt, and I wanted to have a good time. But I didn't. I was stupid.
Come on.
I just wish you could have seen that that wasn't like me to get that trashed and go home with somebody I just met. We've been friends for years. Why didn't it occur to you to slow me down or bring me back to my room or something?
Am I supposed to be your nanny?
No, just my friend.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I want to help you.
I know.
Look, this might be totally off base, but I think you should talk to someone.
Like who?
I don't know, like someone in the counseling center. Look, I know that you don't think much of counselors or whatever, but I just don't want you to feel like the only person that's here to help you is your crappy friend that let you down.
I don't know.
I could go with you if you want.
I just feel like it was my fault.
What?
I didn't say no. I didn't tell him to stop. I just laid there.
Jackie, you know that's not right.
It isn't rape when you say no and he doesn't stop. How was he supposed to know to stop if I never said no?
It doesn't matter that you never said no. Did you ever say yes? If you're too wasted to make the decision to have sex, then it's rape. He took advantage of you. You should tell someone.
Go with me?
I'm here for you. I also think you should probably get tested, especially if you don't know if you used a condom.
Thought about that.
I could take you to the health center. We'll go there together too, if you want.
That would be good.
So sexual assault is any sort of sexual behavior without consent. And consent has to be free of any sort of physical force, manipulation, coercion, and incapacitation. So what we saw in the play was an actual sexual assault. We also saw the bystander or the best friend support her friend in the end around the sexual assault. So at first she wasn't very supportive. But then when she realized the severity of what happened, she was really supportive because they made a plan to go to counseling services and health services. So when someone experiences a sexual assault, they are a trauma victim. So it's really important to get them medical attention and for them to talk to a counselor or an advocate about what happened to them. But there's never any pressure to make a police report. There's never any pressure to tell a lot of people. And a really good thing as a friend to do is just to offer to go to the hospital or counseling services with your friend, so they know that you're there for them no matter what happens.
As USM's Deputy Title IX Coordinator, I am responsible for overseeing the university's response to all reports of sexual harassment, sexual assault, relationship abuse, and stalking. Please do not take anything that you have just seen in this video as an indication that we have more of these incidents on our campus than they do at other colleges and universities. The USM campus is safe, and we value a community that's free from violence and all forms of harassment. That being said, these incidents do occur sometimes, and when they occur, the university encourages victims and all witnesses to take action. This action includes seeking personal support and pursuing student conduct and criminal action. If you or someone you know has been impacted by one of these incidents and you'd like information on how to file a report with the university, and/or you could benefit from accommodations to continue to succeed academically at USM, please do not hesitate to be in touch with me directly at the contact information listed below.